How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they're worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? Guys, what the heck is going on? It's so freaking annoying, right? Like everything that has been going on. I don't know. I guess I'm a little frustrated. It's like we see what's going on. We see the DD and everything, and just the manipulation, in my opinion, is just so blatant. Here's the deal. I'm the first to say we have red days, we have green days. You know, it's just the flow of things. I mean, let's look at today. I guess today was more so a red day, so I guess I'm a little more just annoyed than I should be. You know, obviously I'm usually pretty dang chill, but you know, it's just man, like sometimes it just doesn't feel so good. But you know, realistically, I do understand that this is it's part of the nature of the beast, and I think it's unfortunate. I really don't think it should be. You know, red and green days are very normal. That's fine. But whenever I feel so strongly that there's some kind of market manipulation, some kind of just malpractice, you know, something sketchy going on in the stock market, it just really isn't fun. Like, it's not really something that it's not a lot of fun, right? The market's supposed to be a fair market. And after all we've learned about what these hedge funds are capable of and how they're tied in with themselves and all of the conflicts of interest that happen, right? That they have too many hands in the jar, too much stuff. It's just wild. It's not, it doesn't seem like a fair market, right? In the way that they can kind of have their hand in every single aspect of it and do what they want, right? It's rough, but I think they want us to be very frustrated right now. And, you know, they may be getting it right, but I think it's important that the apes understand what is going on, why it's down, and what the plan might be whenever it comes to the actual trading with these psychological price levels, right, of trying to keep us down. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit, and we'll get into what I mean by that in just a second. Okay, well, first let's say hi to the chat really quick. And you guys know I'm gonna get super behind in the chat, so let me catch up into the chat. Well, and then we'll talk about what's going on. We'll let a few more people filter in if they're gonna be showing up. Dylan, yo, welcome. Dog, if I turn my screen upside down, it looks better. Big brain. Lee, yo. Diane, welcome. Almost gave up on the live. I know, guys. Sorry, I was late. I mean, it was wild. I had it's pouring over here. It's absolutely pouring. And then I got caught by the train. I was the first person in the line waiting for the train. Actually, crazy story really quick. I'm over here waiting in the line, and some guy comes and just goes past the whole line, goes the two things are down, whatever they're called, the things that block people from driving into the train, they're down, but you can see where the train is. The train is going all of, 1 mile an hour. I guess it knows that people drive wild around here. So it goes super slow. And this guy or whoever went through the freaking train track while the things are down. You know, you can kind of fit your way in there. They went through it. The train is coming just honking like crazy, and it slowed down even more. And so the train was just going I mean, here's the deal. I felt no danger for that person other than the crazy psychological. The things are blinking and ringing. The train is honking, and this person went through. They got through with plenty of time. So it really wasn't like a super well, it was silly, not the smartest thing. At no point did I fear for their life. But it was wild. I mean, it was wild. I follow the rules. So I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Natalie, hello, welcome. Damon, yo. Fenderman, what's up? Robert, William. What's up, Robert? Oh, I already said hi to Robert. Peter, how long will we be live for tonight? Underovers is 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll see where we go to, Peter. You know, a little more natural flow of things and see what's been going on. See which way it happens. Diane says if they keep kicking the can, so be it. I signed my account to my son. He can continue the battle. Oh, I love it, Diane. Eric says, Corey, how are you doing? all I have to say is that hedges are digging themselves a bigger hole by AMC. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the deal. These guys think that they're really like messing with our heads. And while they kind of are messing with our heads, it's just making the apes more upset, right? The apes are just seeing this and just getting so dang angry. Actually, before we get into the Ortex stuff, I saw this meme really quick that just reminds me of this. Reddit. And I thought it was the funniest thing I ever saw. This one right here, boom. So I was gonna sell at 1,000, but then they blocked trading. It took it to a whole nother level. And I've just been laughing at this all day. This is just the greatest thing I've seen. You can just hear him saying it. It's just too good, too good. All right, let's talk about AMC real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get back onto everything. You guys know how we like to do it. So AMC did end the day currently, or the regular trading hours, at $37.24. It was down 8.68%. You know, it sucks to be back in the 30s. You know, we were at, as we all know, we hit 31 the other day. Definitely didn't feel the best, but you know, I was ready for that bounce, right? That double bottom. We saw it bounce, we saw it go up, and whenever it started to go down again, I was expecting a double bottom. And it's exactly what we got into the bull run, which is exactly what I would have hoped, right? I kind of was thinking this was going to happen, but of course, no one really knows. And I was hoping it was going to hold. Now, of course, as we know, I was hoping that it was going to bounce here and hold. I know I have this thing at a different color, so let me go ahead and change the color to kind of normal. And so I was hoping that we were going to have a bounce right here. Let me look at the 1 hour candles. Okay, so I was hoping we were gonna have a bounce right here. We kind of dipped below it a little bit, but we still bounced, and then it just fell back below it, and then kept dropping. Right, we tried to respect this level of support around $40.36. We respected it, and then we kind of fell through. And now we went right through the 39.26 level of support, and now we're kind of in this free float over here. And I'm sure there's a level of support probably around here, I would say. Yeah, around, you know, it's 36. And as you guys know, I usually say around about $3, just kind of level of support, because there's right here 36, and then here's like 34. You could also, it'd probably be better to say this 32 level of support over here into 31. So there's a few different levels of here that we can do a little more microscopically. Either way, I mean, you know, it's not really, I'm not freaked out in any way. You know, I may be a little annoyed, but at the end of the day, I still feel like I know the DD. I feel like I understand what is going on, and I'm still bullish on this stock. You know, although it is just the smallest bit of annoyance of what I feel is going on with the manipulation in the market, and I'm sure we're all feeling it, but more so, I think that it's just a little annoying. I'll just leave it at that. And then in the after hours, currently we are down 1.09%, trading at $36.81. What's up, Corey? First time hopping on here today and even getting caught up in the price action for the day. What happened with an outage? Sorry, it's been explained already. And even if getting caught up, what happened with an outage? I'm not sure anything about an outage. Price action. I'm actually not too sure about that. I'm not sure about any kind of outage. But let's go ahead and talk about GameStop for a second. GameStop, not down as much. I mean, down 3.75%. And you can see they've been kind of going down for a few days, though. Well, no, it's 2 days. I think it was AMC was down. Yeah, 1, 2, sure. So 2 days, kind of red days, is the way it's just been going. And GameStop did end the day at 178.85, down 3.75%. Currently in the after hours, up ever so slightly at 179 for plus 0.08% in the after hours. And so that's kind of where that is going. Let's take a look at the tops for the day, then we'll hop into Ortex. Okay, 1 day. Let's see who's been moving up. Immunoantibodies. And man, let me tell you, if anyone's trying to make a whole lot of money, I feel like, I don't know if it would be possible, but I feel like these kinds of companies, oh my gosh, what is this sector called? medical stuff, right? I feel like that sector is so huge because these people, they come out with different, medicines and stuff. They say, oh, this one has looking really good at curing, this, or this one's really good at curing that, and whatever it may be. This one's super innovative. This one looks like it's going to be the actual winner for this. And of course, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but these kinds of things, if you're able to track, and it's hard to do, right? It's so hard to do because there are so many different companies. But if you're heavily in a sector, right? If I could master, one sector, I think it would be this kind of sector to kind of master, just because it is. You could trade these kinds of trades and like they have the biggest swings, but I think they also have big like pharmaceuticals. Thank you. Pharmaceuticals, big pharma. If you could follow those, oh my gosh, I think there's so much money to be made there. For me, I think it's interesting, but I just know that it's not something I could keep up with. There's too many of them. It's not as like, for me, what excites me is like, excuse me, something like electric vehicles. I like cruises because they're super easy. It's very easy to do. Those kinds of things, tech, electronics and stuff. I like those kinds of things. And that's more my niche that I could follow. But pharmaceuticals, if anyone is like a med student or knows a med student, just talk with them for a bit, or maybe they're what is it? They work in a pharmacy, they're a pharmacist, and maybe they know about this stuff. I mean, I really don't know who you would talk to, but I feel like there's a lot of money to be made there. Anyways, let's go and continue. You guys know I'm always looking for opportunities, and you should always be thinking about opportunities. For example, something that just passed is the right to repair, right? Now, right to repair, if you guys don't know what that is, essentially it is what happens. Oh gosh, I'm not going to explain this very well, but right to repair essentially is, you have the right to repair your items. And it's been so rough because how I guess the easiest, most basic example is going to be, how you have like an Xbox, for example, and it says, hey, if you open this Xbox, your warranty is void. Well, I think this basically says like, well, you're allowed to like open it and fix it, right? You can fix your own stuff and you're not going to void your warranty if it's actually defective, or there's some kind of weird thing like that. And my point is I wonder if there's an opportunity in there for right to repair, for like a money-making opportunity, right? Is there something to trade in? For example, Tesla is terrible at this, because Tesla, if you try to repair your item, they'll like, there's a mechanic actually, right? There's a mechanic. I'm sure you can find him on YouTube. And basically what he does is he repairs Teslas. He's the only mechanic that is not like through Tesla, or one of the very, very few, I'll say, that is actually doing that. Because remember, you can't buy Tesla parts. I think even their screws are specific screws for like, how Apple has specific screws that like you have to use a specific screwdriver and you can't get it at any other place. And like, it's a whole thing. Similar to a Ring, right? If you ever had a Ring, like a Ring camera system, if you ever use one of those, then what you can do is you can, if you've ever used the screw on your doorbell, well, it's a specific screwdriver that you can't find. It has to be specific Ring doorbell screwdriver, and it's all specific. So Tesla, they were upset that this guy was trying to fix things, and they try to sue him. They're trying to like sue this guy for just repairing people's Teslas, because if you go through Tesla, it's going to be super expensive. And why shouldn't you be able to go, like, if I have a car, my car, why can't I go to a mechanic to change a light bulb? You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to go to Tesla, who's going to overcharge me to fix a light bulb, whenever a light bulb costs, $5, and the guy will install it for $15. And, if I go to Tesla, though, they're going to charge me $100 to change out a light bulb. And those are things about right to work. And so my point to all of this is always be looking for opportunities. I just saw an article on Reddit that had passed, and so I'm like, okay, well, there's an opportunity here. I don't know what it is, but there's probably some kind of opportunity there. All right, let's continue looking at the tops for the days. Oh, another opportunity. And well, we're gonna continue here, and then we'll talk about another opportunity that I think. Okay, I don't see anything I recognize here for the top winner or top gainers. Let's see the top losers. I feel bad calling them losers, but no offense. Geez, these stocks were down 60%. I always like looking at the 60%, like ones that are down, usually like 100% or something. I want to see if they're going to bounce, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, Mayron. Gosh, what a rocky road this stock is being, honestly. Honestly, it's on a setup though. I think if it breaks this level of resistance, it's gonna freaking skyrocket. I'm gonna draw this because I feel like this stock is gonna go nuts if it breaks. This is kind of rough. I want to do it here, but I also want to kind of do it back here. I'm gonna do this one over here because I feel like it'll probably, this is almost like a false break or something. I feel like if it breaks this right here, it'll run regardless all the way back up to here. So I'm gonna watch that. It's already on a reverse. Oof, up 4% in the after hours. I think there's a play here. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and continue over here. Let's take a look at the Ortex data, and then I'm actually going to write this down because I don't want to miss my thought for T. Okay, great. All right, I wanted to write that down really quick, and let's go ahead and go over to the Ortex data. Boom. Okay, Ortex data. Perfect. So looking at the Ortex data, shares on loan 92.74 million, utilization 83.56. And then the short interest is continuing to go up at 14.64%. So it's getting more expensive for these guys to borrow, right? As long as you guys are holding the stock, or not the stock, the short interest is going to keep increasing, right? And the reason the short interest is going to keep increasing is because it's a risky borrow. It's a risky borrow for a stock. It's going to cost them a lot of money. And I think some brokerages aren't even allowing people to borrow this stock, right? Whether they've lent out all their shares or it's too risky, they don't want to be a part of it. And if they do let you borrow the stock, man, some of these margin requirements are like 7-to-1, right? You need, it's ridiculous how much margin you need. And I've seen some with I think the smallest one I've seen is like 200 or 300%. So if you borrow $10, you need $30. I mean, it's ridiculous how high the margin requirements can be for this. I think I saw some as high as like 800%. I think it was the highest I saw, or that was posted at least. And it's wild. So, I mean, don't be fooled, or think what you want to think. But I personally think that there's a lot of stuff going on here, and these the utilization has gone down just a tad. Shares on loan went down just a tad. Short interest is continuing to going up. Remember, this is more of I don't take this for as everything. It's more of a, not sentiment, but the general idea of where things are right now, right? And this tells me shares on loan is very high, utilization is very high, and the short interest is extremely high and continuing to increase, right? Which is just so bullish for me, right? I'm very bullish on all of this information, how it's all continuing to increase, and that's what I get excited about. It's, it sucks a little bit, and yeah, sure, I'm a little annoyed at what they're doing. They're doing, meaning possible manipulation. And granted, and here's the deal. I'm always the first to say we have red days and we have green days, but a little rough sometimes. Let's talk to the chat, and then I want to continue and talk about a little more about this. Biopharma, yeah. GameStop knows. Diane says, puts on tinfoil hat. Please have the phone number of your broker in your phone. If this was a shenanigan test, now you know, right? And keep this in mind. So I do like this concept, right? This concept of, I don't know, for any reason your internet's not working, you can't find the phone number or whatever, just have it saved in your phone. This way, some kind of squeeze happens, the internet's out, or you know, the trading platform's down, I don't know what would happen. But for any kind of reason, should you need your broker's number, it's always good to have it in your phone, just in case you need to reach them for, again, any reason, if it starts to squeeze or something, or who knows what. But you know, or you know, you're waiting for the whole squeeze and it's starting to go down and everything just crashes, and you need to make your exit strategy, as you know, for your goals. It's always going to be good to have it, right? So whatever that means to you, but just a little PSA if you want to do it. We went through that with the laser industry. They were not happy. Oh boy. Mike, good evening. CT, what's up? Heading to the pool in a little bit. Just waiting for it to get dark first, though. Man, CT, it's weird for you to say that because it's freaking pouring over here. So I don't know where you're living. Natalie, Ella, is it just me, or is the entire market seem to have gone red since so many have changed to Fidelity? Okay. CT says, Fidelity Mobile App Guru says their bosses have tasked some of them with figuring out how to include directed trades in the new mobile app Redux they working on currently. Oh, interesting. Mika, we'll take a quick peek at IWN and then we'll get over to Ortex because I want to talk about that stuff. IWN chart. Okay, what do you want to see about IWN chart? I would recommend you take a look at IWN on index. We are today down near the SSR. They lowered the SSR for tomorrow. Okay, here's this chart. 6 month. Okay, not bad. A little bit of a retracement, but if it continues, it'll probably be pretty bullish. Unless it kind of completely broke this trend. I mean, it broke through pretty harshly, but I do like retracements. It seems like it already bounced right here. Yeah, it bounced where it was like previously. So this looks like a pretty good bounce. I would say it's probably going to be a little more bullish, but yeah, there you go. There you have it. All right, so continuing with this Ortex data. I see Narwhal talking about the Ortex data. Short interest is the percent of the free float that's shorted. Cost to borrow is the fee they're paying. Oh, sorry, Narwhal. I guess cost to borrow. Short interest of the free float. Right. Okay. Thank you. CT says they've been working on a new app. Right. So for those of you who don't know, and are in Fidelity, I'm in Fidelity. I freaking cannot stand their mobile app. I can't stand their trading platform, like on their website. I have Active Trader Pro, but I really haven't done a single trade on it just because I'm not too used to it. But right. They are, from my understanding, Fidelity is working on their mobile app. I'm sure they're probably working on their website and stuff because they know they got a lot of these new retail investors, right? And these retail investors, what are they used to trading on? Robinhood, Webull, you know, all these super easy apps. Webull not as easy as Robinhood, but still very nice. Excuse me. And I think they have this new audience. I would say a younger audience, and they need to definitely cater to them, or else they're going to lose them from there also. And it's a race for them to have like an app out and everything. Hopefully they were able to do this pretty quickly, but if they can't keep up and the apes get wind of something, for example, imagine if Trade said, hey, you know, I'm out of Fidelity, I'm going over to this one because they have a really cool app or whatever. I think everyone's going to hop into it. So it's definitely a race. Hopefully they do it right though, without rushing it and messing everything up. Yeah, show the AMC and GameStop charts side by side. I think it's two charts, GME, and we will compare them on the 5-day and on the 5-day. I don't know why this looks so crazy, but yeah, I mean, pretty similar, right? I mean, running and then dipping, right? So kind of ran up, retrace, ran up, retrace, and then ran up again, and then it's just dipping, right? Yeah, they're pretty similar. I mean, no doubt about it. something interesting, and we're talking about dark pools a lot today. And the reason why I want to talk about the dark pools is, look what's trending right now. Trending on Twitter, dark pool abuse, hashtag dark pool abuse. And it's, I think people need to be talking about this, right? People need to know what dark pools are. People need to know, how it's possible for it to be abused. People need to understand why this is a big deal, right? Why is this trending? Hopefully people are looking into it and it's bringing more knowledge, more awareness to the stock, to the market, what is going on. It doesn't seem, and it seems like people are aware. And when I say people, I mean, it seems like the right people, I'll say, I put that in quotation. It seems like the right people are aware that that we are very concerned about the current state of the stock market, because it seems like they understand that the apes are unhappy because it seems like these hedge funds are manipulating the stocks. We learned about dark pools. Here's the deal. The apes have been freaking tastic about educating themselves and educating each other on how the stock market works, what's potentially going on, and just continuing on with all of that, right? And it's cool. I think it's very, very cool. I've learned a whole lot. I mean, people who've been trading a long time have learned a whole lot about all of this. And I think people, and it seems like people who've been trading a long time, we have some people in chat who have been trading for a long time. And it seems like even then, they're learning a whole lot about stuff, and even have their own stories and anecdotes that they share all the time. And I appreciate that when they do, because it shows like, hey, I remember something similar to this, or I remember this kind of scandal happened in this year, and or X year or whatever. And it's pretty cool. So I think the most important thing, and we talk about this is a similar situation whenever we talk about naked shorting. We apes all know about naked shorting, talking about naked shorting, all this good stuff, but it wasn't being talked about in mainstream media. And then it was mentioned in mainstream media. Now they're all, it seems like people are all of a sudden aware of it. And now we can move forward on it, right? We have to have the conversation, and people need to know about it before they can actually, before they can be changed, right? And I think this is the right step toward change, education and transparency. And then we can finally get there. Hey, what's up, Alicia? The Fidelity beta screen isn't that bad. Ooh, I haven't heard about that one. Yeah, I see Charles Payne did an interview today, or about, I guess, dark pools as well today. Very nice, very nice. What's up, Jokin? See Payne talked about dark pools today. Yes. Hey, what's up, Damon? Yeah, so we're gonna talk about dark pools. Actually, we can get into this really quick. So this is something, I don't know if this is real or accurate. All you have to do is turn it off, and they can't. Okay, so be careful if you're in Webull. Apparently, they can. They're lending out your shares, right? And this is something that people talk about all the time, right? People talk about these shares being lent out and how it messes up, how these trades can potentially go through the dark pools and mess everything up, where you can have a lot of buy orders and it doesn't do anything for the stock, right? So this is a little video. I don't know if it's a tutorial, I guess. I'll full screen it really quick. And this person kind of goes through, if my internet connects well and we get good quality. I mean, this is what the quality is looking like. There we go. See, loaned securities. We can see it right here. I'll go back a little bit. Account type, cash account, trading access, loan securities right here. And you can see all the loan securities. Look at all these. And I think you get paid. I mean, you get paid 1 penny for these transactions. Like, in my opinion, not worth it. This one's 4 pennies, 2 pennies, and interest or whatever. And here's the AMC shares, right? And you have to turn it off. I don't have a guide on how to turn it off. It looks like this may be a guide on how to turn it off, but it's wild. It's wild. So definitely be careful with that. I would definitely Google your brokerage and how to turn off share lending. This way it's not happening, right? You can also look into how to route the orders, right? Definitely, I think it's worth it, right? I think it's worth it to take 2 seconds. If enough apes do it and they can't borrow these shares and they're not finding any shares and stuff, I wonder, actually, I'm very curious to know what would happen with the utilization. Because if with everything, I have so many questions with this, but yeah. We're going to be rich soon. No, I can't say that. I hope that we'll be rich soon. My hope's for lots of kittens and lots of money in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Never go swimming in a dark pool. There's likely all right, it got dark. It got real dark in here. David says $40 to $44 puts expire tomorrow, expecting low prices Friday. For Friday, for tomorrow, it really depends. I really think I was gonna say there are two ways this can go. Of course, there's two ways this can go, right? And so if we go over here, we zoom in just a tad. I think that we're gonna see one of two things. What does the 1 month look like? Yeah, I think we're gonna see, obviously there's a few different scenarios, right? And we know this. We can see that there are two different options, or a few different options. We're going to continue to dip, and we're going to find either a level of support or resistance around here, we'll call it $35, whether it's around here at 36 or down here around 33. And then if it breaks through both of those, we're going to be looking for a touch of around $31 again. And if we get this $31 touch, hopefully we'll get a bounce, right? But it's possible that it'll dip, but it's possible that we'll go back up here and retest these. Typically on Fridays, though, I will say it's typically more so red, and that's just because that's just the nature of the beast, right? Tomorrow is it's typically because of the options. However, right now there aren't really options that I'm pretty sure all the options that are in the money would have already been hedged for. I mean, just by the nature of like the way things are kind of done, they probably have already been hedged for. So I really don't see them being too concerned about options expiring in the money tomorrow. I think that they're more so concerned of just making sure they continue to short the stock every single day so that it can not run, right? Because I think as soon as they stop shorting the stock, I think it's just going to run, right? Based on sentiment, based on how many people are holding it, based on just every other factor, right? And as soon as they let off and let it run, I think it'll just run. Bambino, what's up, bro? Sidon, love it. All right, let's go and continue over here. So dark pools, right? So, keep in mind, this is just some kind of Reddit post, and I'm sure that they're much more educated than I am in the dark pools, or maybe they have or whatever it may be. So let me take a sip of water. We'll talk about this article really quick. Okay, this person says, this is not even funny anymore. 71% in trades in dark pool today. This is #1 retail traded stock across all major platforms. That's huge, right? The #1 retail traded stock across all major platforms. Just wild. Dark pools are for institutional use only, and they directed 71% of volume through dark pools. How the price discovery is supposed to work? The whole situation is a clown fest, right? And this person says at 12/18, it was even 91%. Let that sink in. Almost every freaking share did not reach the stock exchange, right? And that's basically essentially the way we're talking about payment for order flow, right? Yes, very much so. You have no idea. Anyways, I forgot my train of thought. Oh, for payment for order flow. Because what happens is the payment for order flow, it from my understanding of it, it essentially routes those orders straight to the dark pools, and the way it's just the whole thing, right? It's routed to dark pools, and it never really gets to see like the stock exchange go straight over there. Just the way it's traded and everything. It's a wild ride, right? And so you can see it by this tweet. I actually already have this tweet open, and so we can see this person right here, Randall Cornett. Not really sure much about this person, and you see 12:18 p.m. Eastern. For that minute, dark pool volume was 91% of the entire volume. We can pull up a picture here. Wow, this is huge. And we can see here, right? Let's look at the lowest amount of the dark pool, like volume percent, right? And this is minute by minute. So keep in mind, this is like 1 minute here that it was. But even if you ignore this 1 minute, the lowest one I'm seeing right here is 61%, 60%, 65%. So you're telling me about the volume for like all of these trades are going in the dark pool? Like, what? Let's look at the trades over here, right? 866, 40, 20, or the buys, right? Let's look at the buys. The buys 100, 140, 18, 20, on all of these. And we can see here it is, do we have the dollar amounts? Oh, no, that was not the dollar amounts. This is the total number, right? Total amount of the size of the orders, right? So if we look at the size of the orders are, less than, we could say, the majority of them, less than 100, right? And we can see here the trades. Where's the amount of trades? Volume. All the trades. It looks like all the trades. And we can see it's 90. Well, I guess we could see it's 91% of the trades or whatever are going through the dark pools. The volume percent. Yeah, it's just so annoying. It's so frustrating. And this is every single minute of all of these trades. Again, the lowest. Oh, here we go. The smallest one right here being 56%. 56%. Over half of all the trades in any given moment, any given minute throughout the day seems to be traded through the dark pool, which is just wild. I mean, come on. Unbelievable. Granted, this is just a snapshot of basically 19 minutes, but even then, in that, it's all going through one place, like all of just so much volume. So anyways, I'll kind of leave it there, but it's wild, truly very annoying. Okay, so I did want to, people keep doing these kinds of posts, and I wanted to bring up these posts again because I feel like, that maybe there is something here, maybe there isn't something here. Again, always just make your own financial decisions. You know what's right for you. You know how you want to play this. You know everything. Me, I'm personally in a position where I can hold, I can hold through the rips, I can hold through the dips until I think what I think is going to happen actually happens. And if it doesn't happen for whatever reason magically, then it doesn't happen, and I'm okay. I understand. I accept the consequences. And if it does happen, then all right, makes sense, right? In my head, my own personal head, I've managed my own risk, and I think that I know what's best for me, and always do what's best for you. Always do what's best for you, right? Do not be influenced by anybody. Me, Trey, Matt Kors. Do not be influenced by anybody. Always make your own decisions. And essentially, where the TLDR, hedging is using psychological tactic, uncertainty of potential loss that causes most retail traders to lose money. They are using this tactic by playing around the $35 to $55 area and showing signs of a sell-off to make $45 to $65 apes feel like they have to sell soon, or sell to lock in their current loss or small profit. Don't fall for it. Be strong. And essentially, what it is they're basically, shorting the stock, obviously, to $30, $40, make you feel scared, make you start sweating. And when we start sweating, you get scared, and you're not thinking straight, right? You're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't lose this money. I'm going to lose all my money. It's going to be the end for me. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, blah, blah, blah. And they try to scare the crap out of you, right? And again, if you need to get out, then you need to get out. I mean, you need to play it however you want. But if you're like me and you have a good average, you're doing well, you can afford to be in the stock market and stuff, then, just try to remove yourself from the situation and think logically, right? Because what they're trying to do is, it seems like they're trying to keep it down 30, 40, 30, 40, whatever. And then finally, if it goes back to 50, 60, then you'll be like, oh man, that was a close one. I got to get out because I was not going to, this was going to be really bad. I'm just going to get out. I can't risk this anymore. And that's kind of it seems like that's what their plan is. That's what the apes seem to believe currently. And it makes sense, right? Whenever you think about it that way. But this person just kind of goes on and on. This person has some kind of inspirational quote. Oh, I guess it's a Dune quote. But yeah, so just keep that in mind whenever you're looking at it. But again, always do what you need. Corey, you're my window to the real world. I will follow you forever. Thank you, Lee. Thank you very much. Is this my meme? Oh, too good, too good, too good. I love to see it. I see people talking about IRS. I saw somebody talk about the SEC needs to step in. You guys know my thoughts on that, but just to reiterate, I mean, I do think that I like to hope that there's probably something going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about. If there's an open investigation, they're really not allowed to talk about it. And I would hate for them to get leaked even, right? As much as I would love to know. And then people start covering their tracks and like things start to happen. It's bromantic. Thank you, Lee. It was bromantic. I'd hate for like somebody like Citadel, for example, to be like, oh snap, they're about to investigate us. They shred everything or whatever. And it just gets wild. But I really like to be optimistic and think that something's happening. We see it. I feel like we see it with the DTCC filings and all that stuff going on. Gary Gensler, from the beginning, he seemed to have wanted to kind of look into these trading practices that these institutions are doing, because it seems like he knew that there was something weird going on. But I think that it just takes some time, and hopefully it doesn't take too much time, but I'd rather it be done correctly so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen and we truly have a fair market or a free market. But we'll have to see. Black Sheep says what people need to do is buy calls close to the money or in the money every week to throw off their put to call ratio they're using to create naked short positions. Interesting. Yeah. So another opportunity that I want to talk about, and here's the deal. Well, let's talk about channel stuff really quick. As we all know, AMC is kind of it's a bumpy road, but AMC realistically, it seems like it's just going to take a little while for it to play out. Me personally, I'm not going to change my position in AMC. Like I'm not going to take out stock and play with it or anything like that, but I do want to talk about just a few other plays every once in a while. It's kind of weird because you kind of have to almost be careful whenever you start talking about this stuff, because people call you a shill or people call you this. But realistically, my goal is to be prepared for, if it does squeeze after the squeeze, where am I going to go to next? And what are my plays going to be? What are my, based on my goals? What are blah, blah, blah. I have so many different thoughts as to what I want to do. And one thing I really like looking for is opportunities. Right now, there's a huge pullback in the stock market, and there's some risky plays to be had. But those risky plays, they, in my opinion, if it's risky, it could have a lot of reward, right? I mean, and one of the plays that I want to talk about is CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, and this is something that I've been. Since March 18th, since the pandemic first hit, my thought process was, okay, who's down and out right now? But you know what? They're going to freaking, if they come back, like if and when they come back, they're going to come back so strong because people are going to want to do it. Cruise lines has always been one of those things that I've always liked, just because we can see exactly where the pandemic hit, right? Look how they've been doing. And look how the pandemic hit right here, right? Whenever this pandemic hit, they went from about, I don't know, we'll call it around here, around an average of, $48. They went from $48 all the way down to $7, like rough, right? Really, really, really rough. And if you got in at $7 or at $22 now, you're doing pretty nice, right? You're doing pretty well. And right now, there's a little bit of uncertainty with the Delta variant going on, and I think that there's an opportunity here, right? And if you're all in on like AMC, and if you, let's say you have let's say you know you're managing your risk. Let's say you have extra cash. Let's say you don't want to put 100% in AMC. That's fine. I mean, play it however you want to play it. And if you're looking for another opportunity, I think this one's risky, but if it plays out, I think it could make you a whole lot of money. Because if we look at what's been happening, right? So the pandemic, and had a little run for people who were maybe a little early, a little too bullish on what was going on, and then it kind of recovered, retraced pretty back to where it was essentially, and then it's kind of traded sideways for a while, right? And more recently, what happened was, around this time, we and again, this is toward the end of 2020, we knew that the vaccines were coming out, right? The vaccines were coming out, and in my head, again, the opportunities of it, the opportunity of, okay, well, the vaccine is coming out. Everyone's been quarantined, stuck in their freaking house or whatever for basically the whole year, and for basically a whole year. And now what, right? Now what is the plan? And it doesn't take a genius to figure, okay, well, people probably just want to be out now. They don't want to be in the house. They've thought about what really matters to them. And even if it doesn't matter to them that much, they probably want to travel a little bit, right? They probably want to get out of here. They probably want to go do something, right? I saved a good amount of money actually just being at home all day. I didn't have to use gas. I didn't have to, I had to order my food. Whenever I went to the store, I would have to do like a curbside pickup, and I would order the food and meal prep and do it that way, right? So saved a whole lot of money by just being quarantined. And, I personally have never been on a cruise. I would love to go on a cruise. And so just that kind of sentiment, I'm like, I can't be the only one having these thoughts. And so this is why I've always looked at it. I actually hopped into all of the cruise lines super early, right? Super early. I probably, doubled my money or something. And then I put it all in AMC. And the reason I bring this up right now is because right now they're on a pretty good run before, right? We can see right here, they're on a very nice run. And I'm going to go to the 6 month right here. Yeah, they're on a very nice run. And look, they've since retraced, right? Let me go back to that 1 year to date. All right, we'll do this. And so they were on a pretty good run previously. And now look at that. They retraced, right? They had a bounce right here at, we'll call it $19 or whatever. And then now they're kind of getting ready, I think, for a potential play here. Now, this is risky, right? People ask me, Corey, like, how did you know to get in AMC? How did you get in AMC at $2? Like, how did you know it was going to be play? I had no clue it was going to be a play, right? I felt like, okay, this stock is so low. The as long as they don't go bankrupt, the people want to go to the freaking theaters. And so I went all in. I just hopped freaking all in, and it's the best decision I've ever made. Now, with this here, this is risky. This is very risky, because if this Delta variant goes crazy, and if the people, if the US or whoever needs to be, I don't personally think it'll happen again, but if there's another lockdown, then this stock is going to plunge, and then there's a real opportunity, right? As long as they don't go bankrupt. But these guys are starting to start cruises again, right? The cruises are starting back up. And this had a retracement, just like the whole market kind of retraced for the past few days. AMC had the same kind of retracement, super bearish. But now look at this, right? I personally feel like there's a huge opportunity here to buy this dip. It was at $31 previously, right? A little high, but or the high of 31, and average around here, we'll say the tops were around 29, averages around here 27, right? 22 to 27, not bad at all, right? Not a bad potential gain there, especially if this continues, right? Let's say they have successful cruise launches, and they continue to be successful. They keep cruising and cruising and cruising, and there's no COVID scares, and there's no, everyone's like, oh, this is fantastic, all of these things could make for a very, very good play. And so again, if you are maxed out and you are done with this, then Or if you're maxed out and you don't have any, I gotta fix this really quick. Bye, Ken. Ooh, who got Diane? Diane, you beat me to it. I don't know why people come in. I don't know. People are so silly, man. People are too silly. But anyways, again, if you are, well, first of all, if you want to make that play, it's totally up to you. I just saw this and I wanted to talk about it. Kind of like the chips, right? That computer chip shortage, which I'm super bullish on for the future. I think it's very interesting. But Carnival, right? I think these cruises are a huge opportunity. And Carnival's not the only one. There's Royal Caribbean, RCH, I think it is. No. Is it? Oh yeah, RCL. Yeah, this is it. Royal Caribbean, you know, similar move here. Oh, look at these retracements here that I talked about. Oh, this is funny. I haven't seen this in a long time. I don't know what I was doing with this one. Well, I guess I started it back here. All right, no clue what this is. But similar kind of opportunity, right? You can see it's down here. This one dropped all the way to $19, right? We'll call it 20 bucks. It's all the way at almost 80 bucks, right? Look at, imagine the gains you would have had from this, right? And you can see how they did previously. These are the kind of moves that are nice. NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Line, another one. Man, look at this one. What a money-making opportunity, right? If it works well. If it works well, right? And again, I think in the long run, as long as they don't go bankrupt, it could be a great play. And these are ones that I'm absolutely planning on getting in whenever, you know, when and if we squeeze. And if the squeeze is over, I'm now rich. How am I gonna double, triple, quadruple my money? And cruise lines, as long as they don't go bankrupt, I feel like are fantastic, great bets that I really am into right now. And so, you know, again, make your own decisions. If you find something else, you know, I love to see my favorite thing to see, and I'll share this with you guys. I have no problem sharing this with you, but this is kind of like a little secret that I've been doing. I look at the, you know, how are they doing pre-pandemic, right? Look at this. These guys were above. I mean, for the longest time. When is this? For the past 3 years before the pandemic, essentially, they were above. The lowest right here was $39, right? And these guys were looking fantastic. And, you know, the pandemic just took them out. But look, if they're going to go back to where they were, if not run even crazier, then an opportunity, right? A huge opportunity here. So these are things that I've been looking at. Again, I know I'm kind of just going on and on about it, but I'm very passionate about this, these kinds of plays. And I think it's huge. All right, let me catch up on the chat really quick. Bambino says, dude, as soon as the pandemic happened, I invested in Zoom, Clorox, whatever the owner of Lysol. See, that is so like smart, right? Those are the things to invest in. See, me, I did it wrong because I invested I did pretty dang good, but you did much better than I did. But I jumped the gun. I went straight into airlines. I went straight into cruises, and the problem with that is it was the wrong sectors because it was too soon to hop into those. Obviously, you know, if I would have hopped in, it's actually, as you can see, I still didn't do bad at all. But and I didn't do bad at all. But I knew that there were, in hindsight, right? Hindsight is 20/20, and I could see like, okay, I should have hopped into. I would have never guessed to hop into Zoom, Clorox, like cleaning supplies, which seems easy, right? But again, my brain was just a little bit different. My brain was just a little too easy because I knew that those industries were down and they were going to be down for a little bit. I don't think anyone anticipated this pandemic to last as long as it has. Anyone, but so that's why I was hoping I would make up, but didn't happen. What's up, DSA? Bambino, I've held Intel stocks for years. I love investing more into them. Nice. Bambino, sounds like you have some good plays. I think we're in like the kind of the same wavelength whenever it comes to these kinds of stocks. Alex, I wish I had more money during the pandemic. I'd be rich. Right. Right. And okay, Joshua, thank you for this. Thank you. So Joshua says GOL was a Brazilian airline, hasn't recovered since the pandemic. GOL. So we'll look at the 1 year. We'll zoom out a little bit. Here's a pandemic. This has to be the wrong one. I think it's Goal Air. I forgot the name of it. Oh gosh, G Air. Man. Go. Go. Yeah, I can't find the ticker, but I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that stock, actually. I think I was in that stock. But here's another one, right? Whatever this one is. This one is $1 to $8, right? But you have to see what happened pre-pandemic, right? Pre-pandemic, they were down here a little bit. They started a little bull run, and this is 2018, remember? So 2018 started a little bull run, hit a high of 23, and now they're, we'll say right before the pandemic they were around 17, 18 bucks, but even now they're at $8, right? They went from $1 to $8. What kind of gain? That's crazy gains. You can't even hate on it. It looks pretty good. So yeah, I mean, and the reason I'm bringing these up is it's just because right now I know everyone is only talking about like AMC and GameStop and all this stuff, and while I'm obviously extremely bullish on these kinds of plays, they're not the only ones, right? And I don't want anyone to think for a second that you can't talk about those plays, because those plays are very, very, very valuable. And after the squeeze, everyone else is going to wish that they had those plays ready to go to diversify, because after let's say it squeezes, right? Let's say you make $1 million, okay? You make $1 million. Are you going to put all $1 million in one stock? Unless it's the S&P 500 or something. Absolutely. I hope not, at least. But again, make your own decisions. And you have to start thinking about those things, and that's what I've been thinking about. And I think I'm at the point where I need to mix things up, because we're talking about the squeeze every day, and I love talking about the squeeze. I mean, I'm obviously extremely long on AMC, happily, but yeah, I mean, yeah. CT, that was very smart. Investment moves. Yeah, dude, you made out way better with AMC, but yeah. See, and it's funny because that you say that, because yes, AMC did make me give me huge stuff, right? Huge things in the future. So absolutely, like, I'm very happy that I did what I did on AMC, and and that's why I would love to drop 10 grand or something crazy into Carnival, right? But I would need the squeeze to happen in order to do anything like that. But even if I bought some options, right? Take a look here, right? Let's do some options play for you guys, and then I'll kind of wrap it up here. So let's say we have an options play. So let's say we're at $22 right now. Let's say you think, and here's another thing. I'll share this with you guys for free, right? We can look back historically. Let's go to September of each year. I already know where September is. You know why? Because there's always a peak around September. Now, I'm not saying that this year there's going to be peak around September, but I think it's very interesting to take a look at. So we can see here, right? September, we'll say this is September 13th, the peak, right? And we go back, where's it? I knew it was this right here, right? I guessed that this was going to be September right here because there was a peak. It's September 24th right here, your boy's birthday. This is a peak right here, right? What's this over here? This is January. I'm looking for another peak. Okay. Here's an outlier, right? This one is down in September. It's been good, and down September, and then nothing too crazy. I guess at the beginning of September it wasn't too bad, but this one's an outlier. That's no problem. Let's go back a little more and look at more September. Oh, that was September. Let's go backwards, and here's another September where it's not necessarily a peak, but toward the end of September there's a peak. So anyways, Noticing those little details. Here's September, another kind of peak right here. And so I feel like September is probably a good time. So let's say you guys think that this stock, these guys are not going to go bankrupt, right? You can look into options, right? Let's say currently it's at $22. We can see here. So we can play out. Let's say you want to play for September of next year. September of next year, you can say, okay, let's say you want to play. I personally like to play them super close to being in the money. And so if you play them super close to being in the money, you can play right here and you can say, okay, let's say you buy, here's $480. Let's say you put $1,000, right? Sure. And let's say the stock goes to $50. At $50, you just made $4,000 on your $1,000 bet, right? Which is insane. I mean, this is people would love to have these kinds of gains in the short amount of time. Now, granted, is it going to $50? Who knows what the future holds for this? I mean, even if it goes to, it doesn't have to go very high for you to double your money. If it goes to 30, let's see. It was at $34, $35, you doubled your money, right? And that's people would love to double their money year over year over year. I'm telling you. Ask any retail trader who's been trading for a long time. Say if you could only get 100%, if you could only get 50% a year, would you do it? And I guarantee you they say yes. And if they say no, they're a freaking liar. All right, and I would love to see their trades, because here's the deal: if they're not freaking rich, if they say no, they don't want 50% a year, they want more, then they are full of it and do not follow their trades. All right, because Snook says, first time viewer, do you still hold AMC or have you sold? Snook, I am still 1,000,000% holding, 1,000,000% holding every single share and adding to my position as I can. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Sorry you caught me in this crazy rant about freaking cruise lines, but welcome. Not a fan of it. So Israel. So don't get me wrong. So I'm glad you asked this. Israel says, not a fan of index funds. I am a fan of index funds, big time. As a matter of fact, I would love to find an index fund with the highest dividend, right? Because let's say you make $1 million, right? And you have a dividend of, call it, 5%. Look at that. You can make $50,000, theoretically, you can make $50,000 a year with $1 million and a 5% dividend, right? And, imagine passive income living off of $50,000 a year, and, you can pursue whatever you want. You can live a happier life or whatever you want to do, right? And, I would love to find an index fund. And if anybody has one with a super high dividend that is relatively safe, I'm talking about like S&P 500 is relatively safe, not crazy swings, nothing like that. I'm not afraid that I'm going to lose all my money, good. It's super safe. So if anyone has one that they like with a high dividend, I would love to know about it. And again, take this again. Let's say you make $5 million, right, in this crazy squeeze. If it squeezes, if you make the money in the squeeze, all these other variables that go into it. But if you make $5 million times and you have a 5% dividend, that's $250,000 a year, right? Imagine you could live off of this money, right, and reinvest it or whatever you want to do with it. I mean, this stuff is no joke whenever we talk about this kind of squeeze. Like, I'm in it for this kind of money right here. And at this point, you don't even need a crazy dividend, right? You don't even need $250,000 a year. Me personally, I hate to say it, but it's almost excessive, right? That's a lot of freaking money. I wouldn't even know what to do with that money. I'd have to give it away. I saw somebody here. Svan says, when do you think the squeeze can come? Svan's... Hard to say, my friend. Hard to say. I personally, and again, you make your own decisions. You think for yourself. I do think that a squeeze is coming personally. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't know anything. I'm personally convicted, though, and I'm going to continue to hold my position. And I'm not leaving anywhere. Like, I'm not leaving. I feel super convicted on everything going on. And that's just my own personal choice, right? Definitely make the best decision for yourself, though. Let's see. CT says, oh, FYI, Carnival Cruise will give you an online credit if you own shares of the company. $150, I think, on a 7-day cruise. What? I believe you have to own 100 shares, but still not bad, especially if you like the stock. I mean, yeah, if you get it on a discount, that's crazy. Not bad. Equinox, hey, I didn't miss your live today. What's up, Equinox? So CT says, honestly, if COVID gets really bad, cruise lines have nowhere to go but up. I just don't like to see them down with something that locked down. Here's the deal. Like that, I understand what you're saying, but you have to keep in mind, if they go bankrupt, then that's like it. If they go bankrupt, that's the end of it. You know what I mean? And that's where the risk comes in. If you don't think this is going to go bankrupt, then I mean, holy smokes. I mean, let's play another game, right? Let's say if you don't think this is going to go bankrupt, and let's say you put $5,000 in the stock, right? So we can see here the max loss. I'm just going to put it up to 5,000. We'll go a little over 5,000, sure. 11 contracts, sure. And we'll say if it goes up to $50, look, your $5,000 bet just made you, $20,000, okay? And if it's something that you can afford, I mean, why not, right? But again, always make your own play, manage your own risk, manage your own stuff. But if you are truly convicted in it, you don't think they're going bankrupt, you don't think they're going to be bad or anything, you have a whole, September 16th of 22. Yeah, you have a whole year for it to hit $25. A whole year. Even if we went into lockdown again, and then we came out of lockdown and they had a good September, I mean, even then you could do well, right? And if you're feeling really crazy, you can go all the way to January of 2023 for them to really be out of the woods. Granted, it's going to be a little more expensive and all this good stuff, but boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. So keep that in mind. Hey, bro, I don't know if you already gone over, but how do you see AMC tomorrow morning? AMC for tomorrow morning, we can put that pulled up really quick. By the way, AMC did close the day over here at $36.56, down 1.83 in the after hours. Not my favorite ending, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and zoom in here just a tad. We'll look at the 1 hour candles and we'll see which way AMC is going to go. So definitely hard to say which way AMC is going to go. Typically, Fridays are a little bit basically a down day. It looks like we're right here on the cusp of like all these levels of support or resistance, I should say. And right now, kind of using it as a level of support for this one. Now, it's very possible that we'll hold and we'll go toward the bullish side, but it's also very possible that historically, I would say Fridays are red days. They don't want options to expire in the money. Now, if I were to guess, I would say probably these options have already been hedged for, so they're not really too worried about these options expiring in the money. But if it does dip below this, you're going to be looking for levels of support around here. We'll call it around, we'll do this one right here around 34, 32. Actually, I do like that one. I'm going to go and put in a horizontal line on there. It was around here, right? Yep. You're going to be looking for a level of support around here. And if you don't get this level of support, then you're going to be looking for a level of support around the $31 mark again, where it's going to go down there, hopefully get a bounce and then recover. Maybe go for another double bottom. We'll have to see. But realistically, I would love to see a push to the up. But again, we'll have to see what happens. Hey, what's up, Craig? So yeah, could go a bunch of different ways. But all right, y'all, that is what I have for you guys. Sorry I was a little late today. Oh, Craig, thank you for subscribing, man. Right when you get in and I'm leaving. I'm sorry, Craig, but I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. I'm going to go ahead and get it wrapped up, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know I was a little late. I stayed a little extra today. It's kind of been all over the place, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me and let me talk about these other cruise lines and stuff. I'm obviously very passionate about. I also want to. I would love to talk about like electric vehicles. I'm very passionate about a lot of these different sectors and stuff. I just like making money, right? And I see these as huge opportunities for making money. And that's what I'm freaking into. So I'll take a look at this quick stock really quick for my boy Bambino. We'll zoom out a little bit on the 1 year, zoom out a little bit. and CC. So this one, I don't know about this one. I don't know what they do though. Compass Diver. Outdoor stuff. Very interesting. Stoli. AMC to the moon. Love it. Yeah, this one's interesting. I don't know too much about this one. Consistently increasing in profit, 36% institutional ownership, looking pretty good. But this chart setup is not my favorite, I will say. But all right, y'all, you guys have a fan-freaking-tastic night. I appreciate you guys. Ooh, a Corey bobblehead. Oh my gosh, that would be so freaking cool. A Corey bobblehead. I'm gonna write it down because that is actually pretty neat. But all right, guys, you guys have a fantastic night. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's a dividend stock. Thank you, Bambino. Oh, a dividend. I'm not even paying attention, man. Dividend. What's the dividend percentage? 1.44. Is that 1.44%? I think it is. You see, I'm looking for something that is like high dividend. I'll give you a free one really quick, right? Crud. What's the name of that stock? I don't remember the name. Yeah, I can't find it here, but yeah, there's some crazy dividend stocks out there that I'm going to be looking for. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'm actually going to leave this time, but I will catch you guys later. All right, peace.